It's great to be here in Russia. Happy, yeah, I feel like Boyka's come home to Russia. I feel like I'm slightly Russian because I've played Russian characters so many times in my career so far. But I'm very happy to come here and promote Universal Soldier 4 and let you guys see it. I'm very proud of the film and yeah, make sure you see it. It's a good film, great film. Okay, so thanks very much. All the best. Thanks, guys.
LAC. My music, my life, my heart, my soul, my music, my everything. I give my all. My wife, my daughter, my love, my dream, my mother, my father, my brother, my team, my camp, my squad, my house, my car, my boat, my shoes, my pants, my shirt, my coat, my sugar, my cream, my butter, my toast, my all, my queen, my folks. My baby, walk like 6 strings, talk like she's my everything. My baby loves me, hates me, leaves me, runs right back, that sexy lady. All I know, she shares all my confusion. So my baby will not run for anything. I swear this though. Now lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. Music should die before I wake. I pray the Lord my soul to take. She's thick, she's bad, so clean, she's fine, she loves, she hates, she laughs, she cries, she hurts, she lies, she's Bonnie, I'm Clyde, she's ghetto, she's real, she sings, she rhymes, she comes, she goes, she lives, she dies, she's sexy and bomb, she blows my mind, she stays in line, she's smart, she's funny, she's crafty and cunning in the game, she's running her lips, her back, her waist, her thighs, her face, her skin, her hair, her eyes, her voice, her shape, her hips, her mind, her love, her smile, her touch.
There's a guy called Bay Logan, who's a British journalist who went to Hong Kong, and I would send my show reels to him on a regular basis, and he would always send back words of advice and say keep going, and eventually a job came up in a Hong Kong movie, and he sent my DVD to the director, and they gave me the part, and then it was a snowball sort of effect where all the big guys in the Hong Kong film industry wanted to work with me. And we went from there. Yeah, completely. I worked very closely with the fight coordinator. On this film it was Larnell Stovall, who I've worked with a few times before, was one of the best in the business. And you put the fight sequences together and Dolph has his input and Jean-Claude has his input. But yeah, certainly many of the ideas come from me. But I always like to work with a fight coordinator because the better team that you have, the better end result really. So just work with a good team. Well, that's a difficult question because the best films of the 90s, 80s, whatever, the ones that really work very well, they've probably already done a sequel to them. You think of films like Die Hard and Predator. These were the best action films for me of the 80s, 90s, The Matrix. Well, they've all done the sequels already. Just recently I was a huge fan of the movie The Raid, which was an Indonesian film. And I would work with that director at the drop of a hat. Gareth Evans, I think, is a supreme talent. So I'd say The Raid too. Well, I'm always in good shape because I'm a lifelong martial artist, so I'm always training. And I enjoy keeping fit. It's a passion, hobby as well as a job. Obviously for Boyka I had to put more muscle on, so I addressed that, lifting more weights. But the hardest thing about Universal Soldier was that I had a really bad injury. I blew out my knee, I needed ACL surgery. So it wasn't as easy to do the cardio and go for runs and go on the bike because I could hardly walk, if I'm honest with you. and the fight sequences in the movie were very difficult to achieve because 6 weeks before we started shooting the film, I blew my knee out. But yeah, I was a huge fan of Regeneration. John Hyams, the director, I think is a great talent. I think he should go on to much bigger things, to be honest. And when I watched Regeneration, I was kind of kicking myself, wishing that I'd been able to have been a part of it, because there was talk about it at one stage. So I jumped at the chance for this movie that I'm in, and fight-wise, I can't help but be a little bit acrobatic because that's just my general style, but really the more brutal, sort of grounded approach that we did take, a lot of that was dictated by the knee injury that I had, but I think it worked out better for this film because that style of fighting suits this movie more. It's brutal, it's gritty, and it suited the movie better, I think. Action films will never be a thing of the past because it's amazing what they can do with films like Avatar and CGI and all that stuff. But when you see somebody that can actually move on screen like Jackie Chan, like Van Damme, like Bruce Lee, like myself, you can't trick it really, you can't fake it. And as an audience member, when you see the actual actor doing it for real and the camera's pulled back and it's a wide shot, you see the action take place, it's very exciting to watch, it's very visceral. And that's what's great about John Hyams, the director, because he understood that when action works its best, it's when the camera pulls back and you show the performer do his thing. You don't get that in films like the Bourne movies. It's all shaky cam, you can't see what the hell's going on. So people that know about real action and how to properly make a good action film will always do it this way. But that doesn't say that there's not room for the comic book movies and all that, but the real action film will never go away. You know, things go around in circles, and right now the real action film has took a bit of a dip, but it will come back up in time, and that's the way things go. There's a resurgence and different trends and things like that. But ultimately, people will always have an interest in watching performers that can actually do this stuff and don't need stuntmen. And maybe it's not at its peak right now, but it will come back up. And I'm hanging in there. There's not as many guys doing it as there was in the 80s. So it's been more difficult for me to come up, I suppose, but it will change again in the future. You know, I was a huge Van Damme fan as a kid, 12 years old when I saw Bloodsport, and that inspired me to do what I do now. And the first time I met him was not on the film set, it was just privately. I got the chance to sit down with him and talk with him. And of course it was a big moment for me because these guys that you really enjoy watching when you're a kid, you finally meet them, they're so much bigger than who they are in real life because you've got so much expectation in your mind because you've watched them over so many years. But he's a great guy, and it's an honour to work with him. I've done 4 films with him now, so it's about time I gave him a break. Well, I think you've got to have Bruce Willis up there, even though he's not the muscle man like the others were, and he's the best actor of the bunch for sure, but he's done a lot for action films. Really, I always think of the top 3, Bruce Willis, Schwarzenegger and Stallone. And Stallone was always my favourite because he's a real filmmaker, a writer, director, actor. And Schwarzenegger was just a huge personality that you just could not ignore. But for me, Bruce Willis was always the actor that did some great action films. Well, try not to... you can't concern yourself with it too much. Performance-wise, it's good to get a handle on what people think about you as an actor, whether you're delivering as an actor, whether you're delivering as a fight performer, action performer. But there's always going to be people out there that don't like what you do, and it's nice to cut yourself off from some of it because you can't listen to all the haters. But at the same time, you can't just listen to the people that think you're great. It's important to have a proper view of how you are properly perceived by the public. But I don't like to read too much about myself because you know, that's not really why I'm in this. I'm in this because I love films and I'm here to make movies and to be an actor. I'm not really concerned what you think about me publicly.
Если честно.
Hello? Anybody understand English?
No!
Hey, listen guys, thanks for coming out to see me in the new film Universal Soldier 4.
Большое спасибо, ребята, за то, что пришли сегодня посмотреть на меня и за то, что пришли посмотреть на новый фильм «Универсальный солдат 4».
It's a great film, hardcore action.
Вам все очень понравится. Это очень хороший фильм, настоящий фильм экшен.
You know, I was 16 years old when I first saw Universal Soldier, the first one. I had to sneak into the cinema to watch it because it was an 18 certificate.
Когда я увидел первый фильм «Универсальный солдат», первый, мне было 16 лет, и вообще говоря, мне пришлось тайком пробираться в кинотеатр, потому что это был фильм с грифом только до 18, а мне было 16.
And as a big fan of Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren, I got a great kick out of starring with them in this new one, Universal Soldier 4. But the real star of this movie is the director, John Hyams. He's elevated the franchise, took it up to another level, and I'm very proud of the movie, and it's a great film, very proud to be part of it.
Мне очень приятно было работать с моими кумирами, с Жан-Клодом Ван Даммом и Дольфом Лундгреном, но настоящая звезда этого фильма — это, конечно, режиссер Джон Хаймс. Именно этот человек поднял универсального солдата на новый уровень, и мне было очень приятно работать в этой команде.
So make sure you enjoy it in 3D. Thanks a lot, thanks for coming out, and I'll see you again.
Так что наслаждайтесь этим фильмом в формате 3D. И еще раз спасибо за то, что вы сегодня пришли. Спасибо.